Hello, I'm Brigadier General Deidre Tahan, Commander of Brooke Army Medical Center. Welcome to our third episode of BAMC MED Talk. Each month, we ask experts in their respective fields to address questions from you, our patients, regarding a specific topic. Today, we are fortunate to be filming in the Vogel Resiliency Center, an amazing facility on Joint Base San Antonio, Fort Sam, Houston, that provides health and wellness resources to the Joint Base San Antonio community. We felt it would be fitting location for this episode, which focuses on resources and tips for avoiding the holiday blues. Many of us look forward to the holiday as a time to gather with family and friends, enjoy the festivities. However, the holidays can also lead to extra stress, financial strain, and unrealistic expectations. Today, our distinguished panel of experts will be discussing these feelings, answering your questions, and providing some helpful hints on how to deal with the holiday blue. Without further ado, let's start with the first question. What are the holiday blues?
The holiday blues are temporary feelings of anxiety and depression during the holiday season that are often associated with extra stress, overextending yourself, or other feelings and emotions that are associated with this season.
How can the holiday stress and depression be prevented?
Doing things that you enjoy doing. Oftentimes we get overwhelmed and stressed when family members come through, or if you're purchasing items, for gifts. Many times, this will create an undue amount of stress for you, and that's okay. That's the important part. But getting back to establishing things that you enjoy, getting to work out, do some PT, getting out to enjoy a walk with the dog, spending time to enjoy holiday events that are comforting to you, that your family has found in the past that's very warming, enjoyable. Those are the things that we encourage you to do to avoid or prevent some of this holiday stress.
So, Mr. Nathan, your vision for this Vogel Resiliency Center has really brought a lot of these resources to help people fight the holiday blues together in one stop. Can you share with the community the importance of the Vogel Resiliency Center and why it's so important for Joint Base San Antonio?
I'd love to. So what we're trying to do is sort of find a middle ground here where we can have non-clinical and train people on non-clinical ways to reduce their stress in all areas of their life, whether it's financial, health, the way they eat, the exercise, yoga, any of the areas to reduce their stress by learning some life skills. We can then do a triage of sorts, and we can have look at every individual coming into Fort Sam, identify those who really do have serious clinical issues, get them to clinics faster. But those who may have some stress in their life in one of those areas, but it's not to the range of clinical, we can work with the clinical people that belong to BAMC, and we have our own training to work with them to sort of give them the life skills to handle a lot of that on their own.
Major Lee, so for most people, the holidays are not just about family, but they're about eating. Any suggestions on what people should do to try to eat a little healthier during the holiday or use food to help with their mood?
Yes, ma'am. There are several ways to enjoy the holidays without compromising your diet. People should try to stick to their routine, and while doing that, also planning ahead. And they get invited to a dinner, make sure they're still having their breakfast and lunch, making sure that they are making little modifications to eat smaller portions or have more fruits and vegetables, so that way they're not overeating when they go to these gatherings. Bring things that they enjoy, so that way they have a fallback item to make them feel good, the comfort item.
Yeah, I always have to eat a little bit before I go to a holiday meal with family, because sometimes it can take an hour or two to eat, and then by then I'm so hungry that I just eat too much. So that is a great sound advice. Now, one of the other pieces that Colonel Garrido, you brought up was the impact of financial stress on the season and how that might lead to holiday blues.
Well, absolutely. One of the primary stressors that families go through, ma'am, is really finances, managing finances, and we often see that in our clinics. So one of the things that we ask them to do is really set a budget. If they can learn ahead of time to set a budget, and then communication with your spouse is important about what the budget is. When you're communicating how much we're going to spend together for this season, it's going to prevent a lot of those stressors that come across when you suddenly find out that I no longer have the funds available. And oftentimes the bulk of our stressors that that come into our clinic are from relationships, ma'am. And so managing the finances together as a team is extremely important. And so that's one of the ways that we can help to prevent some of these financial blues, ma'am.
My parents didn't have a lot, so we could make a list and we could get one present for Christmas. But one present didn't do the fillings. Then my mom, she did a necessity, but it was such a great idea. She says, but you can each pick somebody in the neighborhood who's not doing well, and we will help you either, she called it make, bake, or shake, right? You can make a present, you can bake a present, or you can shake it. You can do something, a chore for the lady down the street who's a widow, and you can mow her lawn. And by doing that, sort of became big in our Christmas. And it became something that we looked forward to for months, was doing this one thing that we gave. If you realize where you are and how much you can really spend, how much you want to spend, and maybe sit down with your family ahead of time and start these traditions, we can get away from you feel like you have to spend, hundreds or if not thousands of dollars on presents, or it won't be a great Christmas, right?
Mr. Nathan said, know where you are. And I think that's the key point, is knowing where you are. And that's where it can help coming to visit a financial counselor, financial advisor. We have 2 on our staff. And so you can come in, sit down, talk through your budget, plan ahead, and then maybe it is that you bring out and you go, we don't have a big gathering and I invite everybody in the neighborhood and then I expect to pay for it. Let's do a potluck. Everybody come together, you get the social aspect of it. You don't spend a lot of money, and yet you still get that feel good.
What can people do to avoid stress? And specifically from a nutrition lane, how do people avoid stressful eating?
Yeah, so one of the ways to avoid stress eating is really planning ahead. Knowing where you are going to be for an activity, and making sure that you have a good choice available to you. Either you bring your own or you offer to bring something to contribute. But also not making it an eating activity. You can suggest, if it's a potluck, maybe suggest for a walk afterwards to do that as part of the stress relief.
So one of the things that I'd like to ask as our final question is, what resources are available in our community that can help people with the holiday blues? And we will start down at the end and end with the Vogel Resiliency Center. So what resources do you guys have in nutrition care?
Yes, in nutritional medicine, we have the dietitians available to assist people with, either menu planning or meal planning if needed. And if they need some help after the holidays, they're more than welcome to come see us, self-referral.
Wonderful. From behavioral health lens.
So we have a lot of behavioral health, non-behavioral health, and subclinical behavioral health in the community. We have Army One Source, we have the MFLIX, which also are around the Vogel but elsewhere, who really can meet with you at your personal time as well as after hours, that don't really do documentation. So those are pre and subclinical. But we also have our behavioral health who we're working through. So if anyone needs anything, throughout the holidays, we're still here and open.
And one of the nice things about San Antonio is we have a lot of chaplains on this installation that can help a lot of folks. All right, so within the Vogel, what would you want people to know is here for the holidays?
So we have an MFLAC in the building, of course. The chaplains always need to remember the chaplains. We have our teaching kitchen, and so with the teaching kitchen, we have Chef Mary, who does our holiday cooking, and some of those are how to cook healthy holiday meals. And so we have that. We have the yoga instructor, so Lena is our yoga instructor. We have financial counselors, so you can come in and know where you are. We have the Army Wellness Center, which is, of course, very important. As you maybe overindulge, you can come in and you can do the BOD pod, which will tell you your body composition. You can do the metabolic test, which is going to tell you how many calories you can eat to either gain weight, lose weight, or just maintain your weight. And then we have the Army Public Health nurses who right now are really working on the vaccines. So getting your flu vaccine, that's the other way that you can prepare.
So Mr. Nathan, when you think about all of these resources on San Antonio, Fort Sam Houston and Joint Base San Antonio is a special place. What are your thoughts for our families on here as they enter the holidays?
If you're stressed during the holidays, all these resources, don't think too hard about where to go. Just walk in the front door of the VRC, And even if we couldn't handle it here, we would hand carry you of sorts and get to where the professionals here believe the other professionals are that can help you in whatever area that you and they think you need some assistance. So that's it. Our door is open. Our door is open all the time, but especially open during the holidays. Because we want you to have a great holiday season.
So for the month of November, we have the 30-day gratitude challenge, which is really small things you can do to each day that improves not only your gratefulness, but also the joy and happiness you have with those you and those you love. So we hope that you will take time to do these small things that make a big difference. A special thank you to our distinguished panel members for their knowledge and expertise. I hope this information was valuable and helps you to have a more enjoyable holiday season. Leaders, please make sure you check on your teammates over the holiday season. We want everyone to come back to work after the holidays safe, rested, and recharged. To everyone, have a safe and happy holiday season, and thank you for watching this latest episode of BAMC Med Talk. Stay tuned for next month's episode.